Hello, this is Cat Mama, and I wanted to actually make a video concerning autism. I'm going to start it with a lot of people ask me, when did you know something wasn't right? When did you know? Okay. I actually noticed something wasn't right the day that I got her. She came to live with me when she was 10 months old. And I pretty much noticed right away. She wouldn't hold her bottle. She wouldn't even reach for it. But like most parents, I didn't really go to, oh, there's something developed. Like I didn't go there. I waited a while because as the weeks went by, I started seeing progression. And months went by, I was like, oh yeah, okay, so this is gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. And then a lot of other parents out here, they got the same thing. It was like a bam. And I started noticing that she was losing the skills she was learning. Like one day she could do it, the next day she or one day she could do it, the next day she couldn't. One week she could say a word, the next week it was like she didn't have a clue what you were saying. She would ignore us. We thought maybe it was her hearing because we'd say her name, she'd just keep walking, which was dangerous if you're playing outside in the city. So it's like, honestly, I knew something was off the whole time. I didn't want to think it was that big of a deal. I didn't. But I wanted to kind of, in this video, kind of mention how the ball got rolling. I actually did not seek out actively on my own. We went to a doctor for a checkup. It was the first checkup I had taken her to since she came to live with us. And they do an ASQ, which is basically just a milestone check in all the main skill areas: gross motor skills, fine motor skills, social skills, the works. And she was about 15 months at the time. I think they gave me like a 6. She was about 14 months, maybe 15 month one. Then she actually did not meet many of the criteria at all for 15-month-olds. So they gave me a 12-month-old, and she didn't again. So instead of giving me another one, they referred me to early on. Early on intervention is supposed to help families intervene and get their children ready for school at 3 is when they outgrow the program. And they came, they did an evaluation, and I even asked them about the possibility of autism, and they said it'd be very mild, if it was even possible that she had autism. So I guess I went from that to my nephew, her brother, was already in therapy, so we did MChat, which now I guess they offer with the evaluations at the doctor, but this is the last time I went, and she scored a 3 out of 4 on it in the 3 out of 4 categories. So you have to call your county's mental health line. They have a name. It's like mine is like Wayne County Mental Health Association or something on those lines. You have to call them, and they will give you an MChat over the phone. And if your child qualifies for further evaluations, they will schedule an evaluation for you. They will basically say, this is the place for you to go, what time, phone number, address. You don't have to find it. They do all that legwork for you, which is great. To find out that phone number, you can just Google your county's mental health hotline and go that way. You can ask your pediatrician, any of those, because even if they're not quite concerned, you can get this done on your own. And even if they qualify for the initial MCAT, the evaluation process, which will be a whole other video because it's they'll tell you. Like, if they think at any point, they'll flat out tell you. They'll be like, yes, no, and they'll tell you what. But I would probably say the best way, if you suspect autism or anything on the autism spectrum, Asperger's, whatever, call your county's mental health hotline. It'll cut down the hoops and the lines ridiculously, because the same thing you're going to do with the doctor, you have to do with them anyway, because you cannot schedule an evaluation without going through them and showing that you meet criteria. Now, can you get an evaluation for your child without meeting criteria? Yes, you can. But it can be expensive, especially if you really want intensive evaluations done, which means several. Most insurance companies will not pay for it if they do not meet initial criteria. But if you call these places up and say you are willing to pay in cash for the evaluation because they don't meet criteria, but you still think something is going on, they will give you a price. I know a family who paid over $1,500 to find out their child didn't have autism. So it is possible. You just need to find out what your insurance will cover in this department and how you can get them to cover it, what steps you have to take. Because we work through Medicaid. Medicaid will not pay for it if they do not meet initial criteria, which is the MCHAT or an SEG or an SEQ for Asperger's. The next video on autism will be the evaluation process that I personally went through. As you can tell, it's going to be a long one. If you have any questions, ask them below. Go ask your pediatrician. They can refer you to get early on. Your pediatrician does have to refer you to them. And I get a teacher that comes out once a week for about an hour to work with Bella. So go to your pediatrician. If it's a dead end, call your mental health hotline. Thank you very much.